Bitcoin bull must debate.
So the US SEC, or the Security Exchange Commission, has postponed its decision on the listing and trading of a Bitcoin exchange traded fund. So it's also known as an ETF. So previously it was supposed to come out in August. It has now been delayed to September 30th. So the ETF under scrutiny currently is from investment firm VanEck and financial services company SolidX, and is expected to list on the CBOE.
Well, I think because of this news, on a 4 hours, Bitcoin has spent the majority of the day yesterday trading above the $7,000 mark. However, as CCN reported, the market has been plagued by low volume these past few days, which is often an indication of a short-term bearish trend. And therefore, at 19:30 UTC, Coordinated Universal Time, the Bitcoin price took a major downturn and falling from 7,100 to 6,900 in less than 45 minutes. And currently, Bitcoin's price is hovering slightly above 6,500.
That's so sad.
Yeah,
it's like you went to sleep and then you're like, oh, I'm in the money, and then you wake up and like, oh no, I'm not.
Yeah, so I mean, we are currently based in Singapore, right? So yesterday when I fell asleep was 7,100-ish. When I woke up it's 6,600.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I shorted, so it's a good day. Anyway, so TA-wise, RSI is oversold on 4 hours chart. Therefore, we may see some quick short reversal. OBV, which is on balance volume on TA, shows a double top pattern, and volume is dipping as we speak. So following up on that, we should see a short-term bearishness likely this week and next week. Well, because ETF is being delayed here, we should see some short-term bearishness. However, as we inch closer to 30th September, BTC price will start picking up once again. Okay. However, my personal belief is that we will not see BTC be going towards $8,000. It won't be hype up anymore because now investors are more wary of the risk. So we should be seeing BTC hovering around 7,000 to 7,500 because of the potential impact on the market. So investors will be very, very careful this time around. So that makes all the difference.
Looking at, though?
Well, I personally believe that we will see some negative bearishness this week and following up to next week. And then subsequently, when it comes to closer to September, we'll start seeing more news, perhaps, and more volume coming in, and people start waiting for the 30th September ETF news. But the whole idea here is ultimately the more weight we give to something, the greater the impact it has. The whole entire market sentiment right now, it's so focused on this particular ETF announcement, and therefore if it feels true, like just got delayed slightly, the whole market dipped by about 7 to 8%. And
so what does this ETF actually do for us? If let's say it gets through, or let's say an ETF gets through in the near future, what does it mean?
Well, actually, it doesn't really mean a lot per se, to be honest. And I think Vitalik Buterin, which is the Ethereum founder, actually made a great point about how the market shouldn't be focused so much on the ETF or mainstream institutional funds as much, and it should be focusing on decentralization, should be focusing on creating the smart contract platform, should be focusing on blockchain technology. That is where the future is, which is the truth, and I personally believe so. As long as you're in the crypto space, it's something you should believe in. But when it comes to ETF, basically it allows more mainstream investors who are very risk adverse to come in via a more regulated way, which is via CBOE, and therefore being able to invest and have a stake or a risk their slight money or capital into an exchange traded funds that is said to supposed to trade in cryptocurrencies or BTC or Bitcoin per se. But in the actual fact, funds that are in the ETF, do they really buy BTC as derivative? Do they really buy it as an asset to hedge it?
There's no way to check, right?
There's no way to know, right? I mean, the ETF can declare and can say that, okay, we will be buying it, right? But it could just be a futures contract as well. So there's so many uncertainty, and the question here is, are we placing too much focus? Is the market placing too much focus on this SEC ETF CBOE approval, right? So that is the main crux and the main thing we need to discuss.
And the other question is, so the ETF, it does help for mainstream adoption for investment, right? But doesn't really help for mainstream adoption for use case. Right, because you're only putting it in and hoping that it grows. Whereas stuff like the Bitcoin ATMs, you are trying to make it usable for every day. So you can buy it easily, and that kind of grows the network, right? So which one do you think kind of has to come first before, like, is it chicken and egg, like one comes before the other, or are they like growing side by side?
Well, great question, Mike. He's been asking great question lately.
It's because I don't know very much.
Yeah, right. Okay, so anyway, the most important thing I think here, it's really like a chicken and egg thing, right? Having this ETF means that the mainstream investors are aware of cryptocurrencies, they try and get in, and therefore they will want to learn what is these funds about. right? And therefore, they will kind of also understand what cryptocurrency is about, right? So this is assuming that the investors are savvy enough or they want to learn more about it, right? But at least this actually spreads the seeds around New York Stock Exchange. People are hearing Bitcoin now. People know that there's an ETF going through SEC commission, approval, and therefore there's gonna be more hype on it. That's for sure. Okay. However, that being said, what I feel is really, really more important in the long run, in the long term, is really about adoption and really pushing out ATMs, pushing out ways that people can really own that token and making it decentralized, and so that making decentralized and at the same time that the network will be strengthened because there are different nodes, or basically the whole network will support on its own. And that's exactly what Satoshi Nakamoto first created Bitcoin wanted to have, because it's a way to actually kind of beat recession or mainstream institutions or banks trying to manipulate certain stocks, bonds, or even futures trying to earn that money. So I think that's the main difference.
Well, when I woke up this morning, I was a bit shocked, also a bit sad. But at the same time, I mean, if you look further, as in if you're looking at a longer time frame, I mean, like Visa's PayWave, it's come out years ago, but it didn't get popular until like much later, right? And it's so easy, it's just tapping your card. You literally have to do nothing. Bitcoin is like at least 100 times more difficult because you have to like make a wallet and exchange. Yeah, so give it some time. I'm not too fast if I don't get to cash out this year.
Well, I think the main thing is how we're using cash is slightly different. How we're using money is in a form is also different. We first used gold back in 1800 centuries, and then currently 30 or 50 years ago, a card was invented. Right, a credit card. So I think 1950, the first Amex card was being created, and then right now we are going from cashless, and then cash was created, right? So cashless, cardless, goldless, to finally now we are in an asset class that once you switch off your phone, you close it, you cannot see the funds. It's tangible. You can't even see. It's intangible, right? But it's there. It's an asset, but it's an intangible asset. But what we're looking at right here is this week potential support that I personally feel will be strong will be at $6,534. $6,445 and $6,283. This is based on Binance 4 hours chart. And I think these are the key support levels that you want to look at for you to potentially buy back if you need to.
And also not financial advice, just saying.
Not financial advice. These are just some of the support levels that I personally am looking at.
If you want to stay updated with the latest blockchain and cryptocurrency news, do catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 8 p.m. Singapore Standard Time. Consider subscribing to our channel and don't forget to click on the notification bell. We'll see you in the next episode.